Hello everybody, Akash Ambani, Anant Ambani and Isha Ambani are recently appointed into the Reliance Board. Well, the family succession for this entire $100 billion empire has kick-started. Dhirubhai Ambani, when he was passing on the wealth to the next generation, Mukesh Ambani and Anil Ambani, we know how different, contrasting fortunes both the brothers had. Now, how will this go ahead into the next generation is something which the entire world is keen to observe. As a business student though, what you and I would be interested is why family businesses succession planning is so difficult. What are the reasons why family businesses fail? And what are the lessons for you and me in this, even as strategic leaders? If we look at the current board setup in Reliance, the entire family dominates the board and the decision making. And if we even go back by 2 generations, who is the manager for Dhirubhai Ambani? Literally nobody. Who is the manager for Mukesh Ambani? Nobody. And who is the manager for these 3 kids? Nobody. Hence, when some thought leader from the industry is going to be joining this company, they have their own question marks. Am I only going to report to these people at the end of the day? What is the career progression path for me? Hence, hiring great talent at executive leadership levels is not going to be easy for these guys. And that's a real problem. If the entire thought process is coming from the same family, there will always be blind spots. And they do not know what those blind spots are going to be if they are operating in the industries which they do not have any kind of expertise. That's the first biggest problem. The second big thing that we need to understand is the role to skill mapping. There are 6 board members and there are a lot of family members who are currently working in these businesses. And what is their skill? What is the suitability of these individuals to these particular roles? For example, if I am interviewing for a healthcare company, I do not know a lot of the on-ground stuff. So I'll never be hired into that role. But when it comes to family businesses, skill mapping is just not done. These guys take salary irrespective of their current skill levels. And that's a huge problem because the capabilities and the value add that an individual with the right experience they can bring onto the table is just not at the same level. The third thing and the most important thing in my personal opinion is the motivation. Well, these guys, the family owns 42% of this $100 billion conglomerate. And what is the motivation for them to work harder? Well, some individuals might say that, hey, it comes from their dad's genes, it comes from their grandfather's genes that they'll work harder. I believe that, but the aspirations need not be the same for every single individual over here. The 3 kids might have completely different ambitions. One person might be looking to grow the wealth, while the other person might be looking to just safeguard the existing wealth, while the other person is just not interested in the wealth at all. Well, it is no right or wrong discussion. It is about what is the corporate India's interest and how will this wealth then translate into the next few years for the shareholders. Well, what is the solution for these kind of issues? The family succession plans are not that easy for this simple reason because there are no clear solutions. However, we have noticed a few families adopting a completely contrasting style. For example, Walmart, which started as a family-owned business. Even today, the Walton family owns 50% of Walmart, but still, they do not get involved in the day-to-day operations. The CEO is not from the family, and the shareholders appreciate that fact. And we might see similar situation arising for the Reliance family as well. There might be another scenario where a family goes ahead and tries to combine forces with another family, and both the families will then go ahead and move this business in the forward direction. Well, we might see that between the Ambanis and the Piramal group. There is no right or wrong answer, and that's the biggest problem in the family-run businesses. But the best thing over here is that at least these guys are thinking about planning and they got started early itself. And we hope that corporate India will see this $100 billion empire becoming a $1 trillion empire and not the other way around. If you have any questions around this case, the first thought that I would push you towards is, why do family businesses actually do not succeed beyond the 2nd generation? What they do, how they do is a different question altogether. Once we understand the why behind this, the house will become the obvious. Thank you so much guys, and we look forward to seeing you again in the next video. Bye bye.